This is the Ed Sheeran Looper X. I've had this thing for 4 months. I've already played over 100 gigs and streams. I'm gonna share my experience. We're gonna talk about the build quality, the reliability, the workflow, and all the features, as well as some of the downsides, the things we don't like about it that we'd like to see improved. Let's start with first the build and reliability, okay? This thing's built like a tank. It's absolutely huge, not just the board itself, but the pedals themselves. If most pedals are built with these little small switches, and sometimes even they misfire. You click them and they don't work, but not on the Sheeran Looper X, man. You're not gonna miss them, and as a gigging musician who often gets lost in the moment of the crowd and the lights and everything going on, it's easy to miss a pedal, dude, especially when you're looping. The last thing you wanna do is press the wrong pedal at the wrong time. So having the bigger pedals is legitimately a game changer in terms of loop pedals and how they work. Gig tested, approved. Next subject is workflow, ease of use, okay? That's a big thing. If you're a looper, if you're a one-man band, if you're kind of running tracks or doing your thing, it's important that the workflow makes sense. Now, the Sheeran Looper X has this interesting mute workflow. So there's certain modes. A lot of people have complained about the mute mode and how you have to switch from this mode to that mode, but oftentimes, if you're a looper, you understand that you spend most of your time recording and then muting. You don't often do both at the same time. So the workflow is actually very unique. It's not gonna work for everybody, and I was very concerned if it would work for me. It's just different. It's really weird. It's something that Ed Sheeran uses, not a lot of other people use, but I've gotten used to it, and I've actually grown to really appreciate it and love it for what it is. For example, when you're in record mode, you record the drums, then you switch over, you could record the bass guitar, then you could switch over, you could record the keys, and then mute workflow basically means once you're finished recording everything, you switch over to the mute mode. And now for the verse, you could mute the keyboard and mute the vocals and have just the guitar and bass going. At any point, you could unmute the keyboard and it'll come in. So it's essentially like when you're in a recording studio and record a track and you can mute it or solo it or all those things. So that's really available on this pedal board. And so for me personally, it just really works. It's got 4 inputs, which is absolutely amazing. So you could plug in 4 individual instruments or 4 different things. And it's also got many different outs. So if you're into audio routing, you could route to different mixers, you could route to different headphones, you could route to the mains and then your monitors in different ways. So that's really cool. It's got an aux input. Other features, you gotta love the big touchscreen. How can you not love it? It's really easy to get down there, click buttons, kind of get through, navigate all the different menus really well with the touchscreen. Very intuitive. We all use touchscreens these days. And it's a very refreshing change from a lot of the music equipment, like even my Yamaha keyboard here, where you gotta go in, press all these buttons and go to individual weird menus and kind of discover how things work. Not with the Sheeran Looper X, man. Very intuitive. You don't even need to read the manual. Just pop it open, you'll figure it out. So now let's talk about the downsides. This pedal, I was originally turned off from getting it for a whole year. Actually, I didn't get this pedal until a year after it came out, and I wanted it. But the reason I didn't get it was because there's a big feature that I think is missing that I would love to see, and that is customization pedals. If you could customize each of these 8-foot switches to do whatever the heck you wanted, that would make this amazing. So in general, pretty much the downsides come down to like me just wanting more customization and more abilities. There's already so many features and everything in this pedal is reliable. The switches work, everything's great about it. The only gripe I have with it is I wish I could customize it a little bit more. But I'll tell you guys, I've used this thing for 4 months now, and in those 4 months, I've already used it for over 100 gigs and streams, and I've discovered that, dude, this thing's just amazing. Like, it's great as is. I've managed to make it work for what it is. You can understand why Ed Sheeran's taking this thing on tour and playing this thing in stadiums. If this is your first loop pedal, this is a great choice. You could learn on this. This would be amazing for you. I'm loving this thing. This is the one, man. Looper Sheeran X, Ed Sheeran, you're on to something. You got something here, and I appreciate this. So if you guys want to watch more content, if you guys actually want to see me play this thing, I have entire 3-hour shows, 4-hour, 6-hour streams where it's just me looping on this thing for hours and hours and hours. You can kind of see this thing in action. So make sure you subscribe, check out some more videos on the channel if you want to see this thing, the Ed Sheeran Looper X in action, test it out, real gigs, kind of see how I like to do my one-man band looping show. So thanks for hanging out. Leave a comment if you have any additional questions, anything I can help you out with. Let me know in the comments below. We appreciate you guys. And yeah, subscribe. See you around.